Hi, I'm James from Mint Content.
And I'm Amy from Mint Content. And today we're going to be talking about some of our processes, about how we work with clients when we're working on tender responses and business proposals, because they're massive projects. They take a long time. And when people call us, they kind of know that they need something written, but they don't know where exactly to start or how we can help them.
Correct. And often they're a little bit reluctant or reticent because they don't understand our processes. They don't understand that sometimes an outside consultant can be a valuable asset when it comes to producing tender response copy and eliciting great response copy from all of your resources, whether they're technical or management resources. It's sometimes really good to have an outsider to actually get in there and drive the process.
Okay, so if I am a business and I've got you on the phone and I need a tender response written, and I say, okay, great, I want to start working with you. Mm-hmm. The tender's due in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Where do we start?
So the way that we start is, or the way that I would start is that I would consume the documentation at a very high level.
And by documentation, do you mean the details of the tender response document? Correct,
yes. So all of the tender response documents, RFT, all of the requirements, I'd basically consume that and get a high-level picture of how much effort is involved. And then we'd sort of set up the commercial arrangement. Generally, we use prepaid packs of hours that we find that those are the best way to proceed when it comes to tender responses. And then I immediately just plug into any bid management processes that are in the client's organization that they might run. I get my head around those. That doesn't take very long at all. Alternatively, if there's not a lot of maturity in that area, we can plug an outside company into Mint Content's own workspaces to develop tender response copy, to manage the publishing, manage the workflow, and keep everything ticking away on time and on schedule, and make sure the quality is really high. So we can take any company, whether they're new to responding to tenders, trying to get government work, or go for big private jobs, we can take them, plug them into our systems, alternatively jump into their processes and systems there.
Okay, so let's focus then on people who might be less mature, because they're less likely to have a whole bunch of the sort of materials that you need to submit a tender response. And so if I am looking through and I've got some bits of information like about my company and employee profiles, but there's a whole bunch of this material that I think might either be like sitting over there or needs to be developed. So how do you work with me to get all of the information that you need to be able to write the tender response?
Yeah, so what I'll do is unpack the response into a wiki tool like Confluence, and I will identify all of the gaps there based on what the client has and what they don't have, and maybe what needs to be reworked for the particular bid in question. And then it's just a question of project management after that. You have identified a backlog of items and content that you need, and you need to then find the people in the client organization who can contribute and help you develop content for those particular bits and pieces. So,
and is that you reaching out to each of those people individually?
That's
or do you
right.
have a main client contact who you go forth and?
So as best as possible, I try and become that client contact. If there's multiple people within a business that need to contribute to a response, I'd prefer it if I own the product of the tender response itself in terms of bid management, so that I can actually be empowered to get in there and communicate directly with the people that I need to help me develop content.
So you just talk to whoever you need, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So alternatively, though, if there's someone in the client organisation that is empowered to allocate resources around the company, that can also be a fantastic working relationship as well.
How long does a tender response take to write?
That's a good question. How long is a piece of string? Some bids can take a few days, up to 20 hours or so for a kind of large government ICT panel. But a giant, huge logistical bid for a mining company or a huge big IT implementation could take a couple of weeks of full-time work to develop content and write solution architectures with technical resources, address requirements in a great, elegant style, and QA the bid very deeply to identify quality assure. QA is industry speak for quality assure. So yeah, when it comes to developing a tender response, it very much depends on how long the bid, how much work is in the bid itself, plus the maturity of the client's content, a multitude of different factors.
And can you make it look nice at the end as well?
We sure can. We are experts in the whole Microsoft Word finagling and cover pages, graphic design, all of that stuff we can do.
And can you, if I get you to look after one of my tender responses for me, how much of that information in that document can I then pull out and recycle for other? Like basically,
yep.
Does the work that you do for one tender response have value beyond that initial response?
It certainly does. So the way that I like to write and generate content for tender responses is to view the tender response copy as reusable across multiple channels. So if we develop a case study for a tender response, we should repurpose that into a case study for the client's website, turn it into blog posts, really use the tender response as a way to generate a whole bunch of content in one fell swoop, which is an efficient way to look at a tender response as well. So even if you actually don't end up winning the bid that you're going for, there's still value in doing a tender response because it gives you a deadline. It makes your team focus on producing content or reworking content to make it even better. And you can use that content in all through your business on the web, brochureware, white papers, infographics, whatever your flavor of content.
Okay, and if I buy a pack from you of hours, because we do it by packs,
mm-hmm.
and I don't use all of those hours, can I then push them and use them again on a different project? Definitely. So any unused hours with us, you can just spend on anything that your heart desires. It's in our service catalogue.
It's in our service catalogue.
Okay, and is there anything else that a potential customer might need to know about the way that you do tender responses or the way that we work before they pick up the phone and say, write them all for us right now, please?
Yeah, probably to understand my own methods and what I focus on when it comes to writing copy for tender responses. Our Mint Content's blog and some of the content that I've produced for the Mint Content brand around what's the best way to address like an executive summary, for example. You can get a good picture of what I focus on or what I think is the most important thing to focus on there.
In the notes as
yeah,
well.
So probably that. And call us up and we can give you samples of our work. Mint Content goes for its own government work. So happy to share any tender responses there that we've got in the pipeline to get a look at our quality, which is top notch.
It is indeed.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Any questions? Visit our website or give us a call.
Indeed. Or send me an email, james@mintcontent.com.au.